Okay, well, as long as Bo is all right,
All right.
it's being seen to.
All right. I can report, Madam Governor, that that Bloodmouth is dead. The Comanche delivered him to the meeting that we had roped up already. I think they just about had enough of all of his antics and everything, and they gave him a choice of a Comanche's death or coming with us, and he chose uh, he chose to go out as a warrior, as his tradition of his people. He took a tomahawk and as he raised it and threw it over, it struck Bo, and I, I shot him in the head and gunned him down. The other two, Looks for War, upheld his word. In fact, he went beyond upholding his word. He didn't have to deliver Bloodmouth to us, but he did. Further, I was kidnapped earlier in the day by a group of miscreants known as the Brittle Brothers. They took me out to New Austin, and they attracted the attention of the Comanche, who came riding in real hard on them. They didn't shoot him up or anything, but they secured me and kept me safe. Rode me back here under their protection. They honored their word at the meeting that we had, and Looks for War has honored his word as from the time that we had the meeting to now. He didn't raise any objections on the suggestions of the meeting place or how it was going to go. He didn't ask for any reduction in sentence. He pled guilty to all the crimes that he had on his warrants. I sentenced him up to Sitka prison for 555 months, and for two swords, 520 months.
What time exactly did this happen?
It's about probably 30 minutes ago now.
So likely he's still there.
He might be. Um, it's hard to say, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a large group of deputies about right now. It's really myself and the recruit here that's standing. But he did honor his word, and the fact that he brought Bloodmouth in, he'll Looks for War, and the Comanche will never come under our heel. But there might be a way to work with them in a way that allows them to preserve their culture, but doesn't have us in the, I don't know. Forgive me.
No, it's other than Bocephus being injured. Obviously, this is ideal. It's just a bit of a 180 from what the path I thought we were on. So I'm actually quite glad. Um,
The
that
hardest
brings me a lot of hope.
the hardest part of this job is knowing when to extend an open hand
Yeah.
and when to use a clenched fist. Looks for War trusted me, and I delivered on my end of the bargain.
Well,
And he delivered on his and then some.
whatever comes to me to handle, I promise you I'll do right by them. I'll give them the best I possibly can.
Maybe
That's
there's.
uh,
I mean,
that's a surprising turn of events.
I know that the state ain't gonna give any land or officially, but we have squatters' rights here.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there's a way that they can have some autonomy. but work with us as opposed to work against us. We can build some sort of mutual respect in some way. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
just
I think it's very possible.
They want
Well, we'll find out what they want. I'm gonna try to speak to Looks for War as soon as possible.
New Austin.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not gonna happen as far as having all of New Austin.
right.
But,
But if,
we can certainly we can certainly find something for them.
right.
Some way that is dignified and
What Looks for War did, he didn't do it for us. You know, he didn't do it for
no,
people
certainly.
of the state or for you or for love of any deputies or anything like that. He did it.
Preservation of his people.
He did it for the preservation of his people. I think he Bloodmouth. I think I can't remember the report, but I think he tried to hurt or kidnap Taylor's last night, and I think Looks for War had enough after that. How many chances do you give a man before he breaks you?
And killed the voice of the Comanche.
Something had
course.
happened. Yeah, strong oak. Something had happened recently. I haven't gotten the full details, but somebody reached out to the Secretary of State, then I can't remember, Jack Carter, and said that the Comanche had violated this treaty they set, but hadn't gotten me the rest of the information. So I asked them, send full correspondence of what exactly happened. I need details. And here I am sitting here waiting for what I thought was going to be very bad news, that this was going to unfold in the way we were speaking about yesterday, that we didn't want. And yeah, this is very good news. Obviously, other than Bo being injured.
It sounds like he's going to be okay. He's going to be resting.
Thank God. It's really,
So-
like we spoke about yesterday. The last thing we want is cavalry coming in and
One moment. Ismay, love,
Yes,
people.
give us a minute, please.
yes, Auntie Kit.
Thank you.
So I said I'll make sure I do right by them as best I am able, and I certainly hope that you will be available as well to sit in on some of these meetings and help facilitate, because obviously you've got some experience. I think you'd be a good conduit between the two of us.
You would.
I'll do my best, Madam Governor. It'd be my honor to try to help out where I can.
Well, obviously, what you've already done thus far has been a huge help. You deserve recognition for it, Detective.
I don't know about that, ma'am. I just shot a man in the head.
I understand, but you might have saved a lot of people. It wasn't. It was just. I'm not even. It was an hour ago that I was working off the assumption of information Jack Carter had given me that they broke their treaty and that it, would have been the last straw.
Nothing's further from the truth. Now they may be, as we discussed, they may be still involved in some sort of underground syndicate plan, or I don't know, but I can tell you in this matter, they acted with honor, and it was important for them to state multiple times that they kept their word. Maybe they know that Bloodmouth was perhaps they certainly were aware of the optics of him. They
You
certainly
said something
were.
happened with Bloodmouth yesterday, and
Yeah, and Deputy Taylor, Senior Deputy Taylor's.
perhaps that's what Carter's referring to. That Bloodmouth did something.
Yeah,
He sort of went
I think that's probably about right.
off on his own. Yeah. Well, we'll get the details of it. In the meantime, we won't make any assumptions. We'll just operate with what we know for a certainty, which is that they've have dealt with us fair and honest today, and so we'll reciprocate.
Yeah. And we should not soil the memory of Bloodmouth in front of and to them. All right, that would be a gigantic mistake.
I will never bring them up again.
All right.
Yeah, I understand that was probably a difficult decision for them to land at.
They gave him a warrior's death as opposed to coming with us. I didn't tell him about. I didn't mention what you and I talked about in confidence. I'll let things play out.
Well, like we talked about at the end there, sometimes people can treat you badly, but we're gonna try the peaceful route.
Hey, Dingy, how you doing, man?
I'm glad you came and spoke to me today, because that could have gone a very different direction.
Yeah, well, I promised you, Madam Governor, that I would at least write you a letter, and I saw your telegram when I was trying to, when we were safe and trying to check on Bo, so.
They have the rifle back, I
Hey,
assume.
I recognize that face.
Yeah.
Come on in, relax. You're
We-
among friends here.
We fully lived up to our word. We gave him the rifle. Jack talked to Bo Carter last night and turned over the rifle to Bo. The man, signed off on the plan, and we executed it. And I think all parties held up on their end of the bargain. You should also know that Vadim was there as an intermediary just in case. He took care of Bo when he was hit with the tomahawk. I had to stay with the recruit in order to make sure that Looks for War and Two Swords were able to fulfill their end of the bargain.
Vadim,
always-
just to help me, because I hear so many names so often. He's the Cossack fella.
Well, yeah. He's
Interesting.
he's an unusual fella, that one. He is he's driven by his personal honor, which, because of cultural differences, ain't exactly the same as what we call honor. But he is very keen on keeping his word, and he will act on behalf of criminals if he has to, if he thinks that there's something that's dishonorable that's happened, such as there was an attempt to arrest Billy Freeman when the Freemans were mourning the dead. Something I completely disagree with myself, but when you're an outlaw, sometimes shit happens. Well, he was there at that point in time and, helped to release some prisoners that we had. He's paid his time, and he earned some respect from me and dealing with me and getting that time dealt with. I told him today, we're working towards building a trust, but, I ain't gonna understand every moment that you think that you have to act in honor. But I got a job to do, and he understands that too. Anyways, I thought you should know he was there.
No, I appreciate that.
Joy, thank you very much for coming in. It's
The
Molly
last I really
Wong.
heard about
Make sure
the
we get a
Cossacks
shout out
was,
for her.
They were shooting up sheriff's office and stuff like that.
That was in the past. But yes, they are warriors, if you will, as well. They're guided by a code of honor, and if they feel like their honor has been besmirched, or someone has called them a coward, or shot one of their horses, which they hold very dear, they will act, and they will fight, and they're not afraid to fight. They are strong warriors, but right now we don't have to. We don't have to
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that.
deal with that right now. Right.
Vadim doesn't seek war.
He
only
doesn't.
breaks his neutrality when he feels something has gone dishonorably.
Yeah, well, I would rather have him talk it out. It's possible, but sometimes you're not able to do such things.
I was there for the morning problem with the Freemans. He offered every deputy surrender. He tried to get them not to fight. Billy swooped in.
Thank you very
and
much,
started
Choi, for coming on in.
started shooting.
Welcome everybody coming in from Choi's channel. Hope you guys had a good time tonight.
Yeah, that was right after Billy had his gang shoot Delgado up. Everybody was,
Yeah.
tension was high.
Vidian doesn't always act legally, but he does act honorably. He would have raised his guns for the deputies had it been the other way around, and I know this for a fact.
You know, he stood beside me in a couple of instances where he put himself in that position. Whether or not he would have acted on my behalf, thankfully, I don't have to know the answer to that question. At least not today.
Aye.
So when Looks for War and Two Swords have served their time, we can likely expect that Ren and Little Shield will also serve their time. They have 420-month sentences for the shootout that happened.
Be good to get everybody on the right side of the law and settled up. Be
We
easier
have.
to start over that way.
We have a number of open investigations, but they're just general. Nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing that gives us enough evidence where, in a court of law, we could absolutely say it was this Comanche or that Comanche. It was just known that was Comanche that did this or did that. So I imagine those are probably just sit as unsolved cases unless they want to volunteer, and I don't expect they will. 520 months is a long time.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps I'll wait for him to get out of Sisika before we speak.
Well, that's up
Since
to you.
it doesn't have to be done. Yesterday we were operating under a different assumption. Today, after what you've told me, I wouldn't mind having him to the estate.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by the estate?
My home,
Oh.
rather than me going to visit him in Sisika in sort of a, cloak and dagger.
Yeah.
Having
I ha-
him openly come to the estate and speak to me would be fine.
Yeah. Perhaps you might send him a letter and give him a letter in prison, or if you do go to see him in prison, that you might take a different tone. Yeah.
Yes, certainly, because we were operating under quite a different assumption yesterday. So, well, like I said, I promise I'll treat them as fairly and respectfully as they've shown us.
Is there you have any other questions for me, Madam Governor?
No, I think that whether intentional or not, I think you've done a lot to help ensure the possibility of peace, and it will not be a sacrifice that I throw away. I'll do my damnedest to make sure that at the end we have something that is a amicable understanding and not an escalation of violence.
And I hope that we have some channels that they feel that they can travel down if they find a grievance. Maybe just going to a regular deputy is not going to be sufficient for them. Maybe they need to write you a letter, or or feel that they can open up to myself or other deputies that they come to have some
Yeah.
small amount of respect for. I'm under no disillusion that they respect me fully or would, but they've demonstrated a lot to me in their word today, rescuing me from the kidnapping, not harming me there, and in fact going out of their way to see that I was brought back to where I needed to go, and then fulfilling their word and
You said it was
delivering.
the Brittle
delivering
brothers
blood.
who had captured you earlier.
That's
I
right.
hadn't heard that name in a while.
Yeah,
Neither
they're
have
they're running around robbing general stores. Oh,
Right,
yeah.
and this is not the Brittle who's the
It's
Ironmonger.
no, that's a different Billy Brittle. That's a different fella, as far as I know. They also run around under aliases. John Brittle, who's probably the one that's got the most warrants right now out of that group, has evaded us quite a bit. He's extremely violent. The leader, he also goes by Opie sometimes.
Yeah, I'd crossed past them a couple of times, but ages ago. I thought they were gone, but
Yeah, they're back. We got into a shootout with them the other day.
well, I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I actually have a gift for you.
Oh, that would be the second prosthetic, right?
No, I haven't quite finished that, but
Oh, this one's gotten a bullet hole through the lower arm. It's just through the wooden part. It's fine. Couple of the harness is eventually going to have to be replaced.
as I said, come to me. But after your harness saved you last time, I had something made to help with that. Not just the sable lining, that was for comfort.
All right.
That should fit between the sable lining and the leather.
Oh, very good. Well, that'll be quite useful, I expect.
If our work can keep you from too much harm, I would prefer it. As someone whose left shoulder is almost ruined, it's important.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. How's Ivy doing?
Ivy?
Yeah, she's a young girl, lost her arm as well.
Haven't been told of this.
Jaina has handled her.
Uh,
I don't know too much more about it,
All right.
but I know that Jaina saw to her.
All right. Well, we got a lot of paperwork to do. As
Absolutely.
You
Can I
imagine.
have maybe half a minute of your time out back, real quick?
Of course.
Just you and I. We'll be back.
All right. I'll be right back. All right, recruit.
Of course.
Finding.
I should get into politics.
I think you might have a real knack for it, to tell you the truth.
It might be a more dangerous arena, but it safer in other ways, I guess.
Yes. Do you mind if I call you James?
That's fine by me, ma'am.
Certainly. For this, just call me Addison is fine as well.
All right.
So this is the end of quite a saga between you and Bloodmouth, isn't it?
Yeah, I expect it is. Started when he had eyes for liberty. I knew I couldn't stop thinking about her. And
Yeah, I
then,
heard something about that, the fist fight in Valentine, and
Yeah, well, I obliged him. I don't fight for sport.
I don't take you
or
to be
what
the
have
sort
you.
of man who would, James. I really don't.
I fight when it's important.
That's the sort of fella I got you pegged as. Are you okay?
Am I okay? I don't.
I know that that's obviously an emotional situation and the culmination of a lot of effort and energy and emotional investment. And I just wonder about your well-being.
I haven't fully processed it yet.
Hmm.
Have you ever had to kill a man, ma'am?
Only one.
I've killed several in Comanche, several Lakota Sioux, fought in the Battle of Fort Tularosa in Mexico, or New Mexico Territory in 1872. Traveled across the plains in various endeavors. Some I'm proud of, and some I ain't. Fought outside the Battle of Wounded Knee, and then watched and helped protect the natives for 9 years there, until I was called to fight in the Spanish-American War. I came here to find peace. Instead, I found one night, my second night here, I found over in Blackwater 2 women roped up, a shotgun blast to the back of their head. A store robbery that must have either gone really bad or they were just tying up loose ends. It's different when you look a man in the eye, Madam Governor. It's different.
I imagine so. Well, I'm sure you have friends and family, but if there's ever anything I can do, don't hesitate, all right? I've been told I'm good at this sort of thing. I'd be happy to talk to you.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Just so you know, I'm just saying that the door is open.
I'll find a way. I always do.
I need you to do me one favor, though.
Yeah.
In the next few days, give a good think about what it is that you want to accomplish here in the state, and then let me know, and I will help you. I was thinking in there, our experience, the time I've known you, and what I've seen from you. I think there's a lot of good you could do in the state. I mean, obviously you already are, but I think that I could see you rising through the ranks of law enforcement. If that was something you wanted, I could see you making a very fine politician, somebody who's actually honest and gives a damn, because they're few and far between. They really are. I did not, when I first started as a state representative. I was an opportunist looking to find a way to help me and my businesses. And the more I got involved and the more I saw that that's exactly not what the state needed. And I have tried very hard to be a better person and appeal to that better nature. And I have a lot of admiration for you. So think about what you want and let me know. I would like to help you achieve those goals, whatever they may be.
All right. I'll think about that. It's very generous of you, Madam Governor.
There's a shortage of good men. So
I don't know. I serve with a lot of good men and women. There's a lot of good men and women out there. I think sometimes the circumstances of our time and where we are sometimes jades us to that. But there has to be good men, always. Otherwise, I mean, for every tragedy, there's good that comes out of it, and for every man that takes a man's life in anger, somebody rescues a child from starvation. Every person that robs somebody holds the hand of a dying man without family in one of our infirmaries and weeps for him as he says goodbye to this mortal life. God puts blessings all around us. The beauty of that sunset view here. The stars at night. We just have to open our eyes to them and stand where he wants us to stand. Even if it means sometimes you feel like you're alone. And maybe, just maybe one night, when your time comes, and you cross through the valley of the shadow of death, and you find him walking beside you, he'll say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Well done." That'll be enough. I have more than enough sins to damn me for an all eternity. But if those words are the words I hear when my death comes, I'll be humbled and grateful. Sorry for the
Beautiful sentiment, James. No,
for
you
the,
don't have to apologize for that at all. I admire that outlook. I really do. Yeah, there's a good bit that I admire about you, and if I can help, please allow me to.
Thank you.
You've got a very positive look on the world and your fellow man, and whether or not it's in short supply, it's something we could use more of always. A bit of generosity of spirit and a bit of kindness, I think.
Well, I share with people all the time with something my father said to me. He said, James, the best time to plant a tree? And I said, no. He said, about 20 years ago, about an hour or so later, I was doing work, and he said, James, the second best day to plant a tree? And I said, no. He said, today. And we went out on my uncle's ranch south of Chicago, and we planted a small tree. And it grew. The course of my life, it grew. I try to tell that to criminals all the time, that you can choose to be a better person. All it takes is making that choice today. You can't choose it tomorrow or yesterday, but you are in the moment right now. What kind of person are you going to be tomorrow? Think upon that.
Detective Hollister, I would like to be your friend. I would like that very much.
Let me talk to my wife.
Have her over. Come over. I'll treat you both to supper.
Well, that'd be our honor.
I'll bring JJ by. I don't know if you know, he and I are engaged.
JJ. Oh, really?
Yes, Sheriff Jackson. Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, I didn't know that. Congratulations on your engagement.
Oh yeah. And we, try not to. We're private people, but
yeah. Well, I should let you know.
Most of our life is public as is. It's nice to have something that's just yours.
Yeah.
But bring her over. We'll have dinner together, and
I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would love that. Give her an opportunity to buy a new poncho. She's very fond of them.
It would be nice, and I really do mean what I said. Think on what it is that you want to achieve, and I would like to help however I can. If that's in law enforcement or politics, or hell, if it's, you want to go buy a farm, whatever you want to do. I have some means to help, and I would like to.
Well, we got ourselves a little place just north of Saint Denis here. I don't know if you've seen it. It's kind of close to Emerald Ranch. It's a 2-story, nice little ranch place. Figured it'd be good enough to raise youngins, and
Yeah, I have seen that place.
there wasn't anybody squatting in it from what I saw, so we just took up residence there after we got married.
Yeah, I have seen that. It's a lovely place.
Yeah, you're welcome by anytime.
I'd like that. Thank you for all you've done in the process of this, and
There's a lot
I
of
promise
us
I
that,
will not make that sacrifice in vain. The work you've done will not be thrown away.
It's an opportunity. I hope both parties seize upon it. The man died
I'll do
for it.
everything within my power for that.
That's all I can ask for.
I promise you that I will, and I'd like you to be there as well whilst we work on these things. So
I'll do my best to
Expect-
attend as I can.
yeah,
sure.
I think it might be helpful. But either
Good
way,
morning,
I just wanted
Sesboo.
to take a private moment with you and thank you and make that offer.
Thank you. I'll write you a letter in a few days, and
You've
get
got
my-
plenty of time to think about it. There's no rush.
Yeah, I need
But
to. I need to report back to command so they know what's happened.
yep, absolutely.
And, they know about Bo. That Bloodmouth is dead, and the full accounting of what happened with the Comanche, and that they kept their word in the end, and that justice has been served.
Well, I won't keep you any longer then. I appreciate you, Detective. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I mean it. Come by. I haven't seen Liberty in ages.
Yeah, she's a lovely
have,
woman. I'm a very
we'll
lucky
make-
man.
We'll make plans for supper. Good Lord,
Uh,
honestly, AJ's been pushing for more of us doing more like things with couples. So
all right. Where did my recruit go?
What is it
She's
at the moment?
upstairs at the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I'm pretty much a dead man if something happens to her.